Hello, 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 everybody. I am Katie Lowe, and I'd like to welcome you to Rhythm Flow Radio live stream right here on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Spreaker. I'm going to waste no time bringing in my guest today. Going to put her right here on the screen with me. Wilhelmina, where are you?
Hold on. For some reason,
I
it's
can't
turned
see
off.
you.
Hold on.
Okay, I can't see your
Hold
face.
on.
Okay,
Can't see.
I
Hold
don't want
on.
to. Okay. Hey, Tracy. I might need you to log out and log back in because I can't see your face. I know you're back there somewhere, and I want you in this screen with me. I want to get down in the show today. I don't have any hot topic. I have hot topics that I want to talk about, but I think there's too much information that Wilhelmina needs to get out today, and I don't need to be talking about any hot topics. I need for her. She'll be back to come in and tell her story because there is so much of the story. I mean, it's just hard to put it into one show. And she's going to log right back in. And we're going to get into the meat of this show and let her finish up her story. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to allow her to talk about her story today. She's given me so much food for thought and information. I mean, me being a female, I think that every female and male, because they also, okay,
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. I
don't
don't know
worry
what
about
happened.
it. Don't worry about it. I was just telling everybody, I just want to sit back and allow you to take people on your journey. I mean, you have such a journey that you've been on. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to come out the screen and I'm going to leave you here to talk. And I want you to just take them on the journey. I'm going to I think I can just that's not what I want to do. Let me see. You just go on. Don't worry about me. Pretend I'm not here.
I
Okay.
can't do that because you're so fabulous. And I thank you
Listen,
so much for being a part of my healing journey. Because if it
I,
wasn't for you,
I want you to introduce yourself. And please don't just tell them that you're a cancer survivor. Tell them who you are. Okay. And then I want you to go into the story where we left off. Okay. And if I think that you're not giving them enough, I'll say something. But other than that, I just want to sit here and enjoy my water.
okay.
Okay. The platform is yours.
Good evening, all. I'm Wilhelmina Wade, and I'm just blessed to be here this evening to share my story and also to touch any and every ear and heart that I possibly can to let you know that as long as you got breath in your body and long as you got faith in your heart, you can make it. I'm a PTSD survivor of an emotional abusive former marriage that led me to get a divorce. That relationship was up and down for completely from the time that I initially met my former spouse up until the day I divorced him was 18 years. I want everybody to understand this. If you don't understand anything else, make sure you stay close to your family. If it's your pastor, if it's somebody your bloodline, somebody you're just really close to, make sure that your people keep an eye on you and understand where you're at in your life, because that is what I didn't do with my family, because I was walking in a lot of shame and I didn't really want them to know exactly what I was experiencing. I'm also a brain tumor survivor. And during that marriage, I went through brain surgery. And shortly thereafter, that's when quite of the abuse started happening, but I wasn't aware of it myself because I was healing from the brain surgery. And it was rough. It was very rough. And I didn't allow my family to know the truth. And I would share with each and every one of you all, just be truthful. Just tell the truth. You don't have to tell things in detail, but in order for someone to be able to hurt you, is they have to have something to hold over your head. And they can't hold anything over your head if they know that you have people that's looking out for you and that's there to protect you. So going forth, I was isolated from my family by this former spouse. But as God would have it, one of my sisters made it a point that she was going to stay in touch with me one way or the other, because he didn't want any of my family member in the home or around the home. And so my sister, she befriended and she knew some people that were of the Jehovah's Witness faith. And she would ask them to go by my house and knock on the window, knock on the door, just to make sure that they would see me or hear my voice. And then they would let her know that, yeah, we saw your sister. She looks good. We heard her voice. And that's how my sister literally kept a communication line with me for almost 4.5 years. And so we go for, I reunite with my family. I gradually started opening up and talking to my brother, who he passed. He made his transition in December of 2020. And I thank him so much, because if it wasn't for him and my sister, they're the ones that saved my life. Once we regrouped, he was the type of guy, you're not going to keep me from my sister. So he wasn't afraid of stirring the pot with my former spouse. And he was the one that kind of opened the door to me being back exposed and around my family. So once my brother started coming back around, I started confiding in him. And he had always been my confidant. He's a year younger than I am. Since we were children, if you tell him something, that's bond. He's not going to repeat it. So what he did was, he's also, may he rest in peace, he's also a Marine veteran. And he's very involved with the VA hospital and programs, VA hospital. And he's also was a PTSD survivor. And he also passed of prostate cancer. And so he started taking me to his counseling sessions with him. And he put me in a situation to be alone with one of his case managers. And she kind of cultivated a relationship with me to open up and talk. He didn't tell her anything about my background. She was just there to say, I'm here as a listening ear. And that's when the walls started coming down. I found somebody that I can talk to. And once I was able to open up and talk to her, she kind of encouraged me and gave me the strength to tell my brother the truth about what was happening. Now, I have to let everybody know my family is these type of people. When you call them, they on the horn calling everybody else. And they don't want to know what the situation is. They just want to know Mina's having a problem and we on our way. And so you have to be very careful about what you say to them, because when they come in blazing. And so that's what I was afraid of. I was like, okay, let me be cool, because I don't want this to get out of hand. And so I told my brother, I said, this has to stay between us right now. until I'm healthy enough to open up and talk to everybody about it. And he said, well, okay, but don't let it be too long. Don't let it be too long. And so as time would go on, my brother made sure that his presence was known. He knew that my former spouse didn't like him. He knew that my former spouse didn't want him around, but he would come over anyway. He would come over with a bag of groceries. He would come over, and bring my former spouse fried chicken because he knew he liked chicken, just so he can get in. And he would observe everything and look and everything. But the one thing he did do that I appreciate him for, and he taught me, he had every piece of identification of my former spouses. He had driver's license, he had everything. And he had told him, he said, if anything happened to her, we coming after you. I know your mama's name, her birthday, and your grandmama, and everybody in Texas. So when he said that to him, he was like, whoa, he knows something about me. And the ex-spouse kind of pulled up off of me. And I literally lived in a house with a man for 3 years, where he lived in the basement and I lived upstairs on the second floor that I didn't even talk to. I was officially by law married to him for 13 years, and I had only been intimate with him for 3 years that I can remember.
Oh.
And I was just existing. I was just existing. And so it was a lot of emotional abuse that went on. And I just put myself in a shell. And I didn't want to bother my family.
I gotta say this, and both of you all work for Chicago Police Department.
Yes,
I'm through. Go ahead.
yes, yes, yes. But that's the type of behavior that goes on like that.
I'm just saying that's
It's a very exclusive little family,
yeah, okay.
and people are very hesitant to step outside of that family to help if it's against one of their brothers. It's a code. They just don't do it. And then once women start getting on the job, it got worse. So, okay, now I'm starting to feel better about myself. I'm starting to go to counseling. I made up in my mind that I no longer wanted to be in the relationship anymore. And so I reached out to a domestic violence group that I was volunteering with. And the director was very surprised when I approached her and told her that I was an abused victim myself. But I had never put words to that title associated with me. I had never did it. But after that, the doors just opened up. She talked to me. I told her what I wanted to do. I told her that I had to do it. Nobody could do it for me. But I wanted to be very logical, and I didn't want to be emotional about my actions. And that's when I started, where I literally had to start planning my exit. I had to plan an exit strategy out of the relationship. I had to, because I had a lot to lose materialistically, but it didn't mean anything to me. My life meant more to me. But what was so powerful to me was that I had my family back, and I knew that I can go to them. So now it was time for me to open up and just be truthful. And that's what I gradually did with certain family members. I have 2 sons, and one is also a Chicago police officer. Officer Terrence Roberts, I love you. Mommy, love you. And his dad is a retired police officer also. But I had to figure out through counseling, how would I tell my sons? Because I had been putting on and off these masks for all these years. And it's like, wow, this has been going on all this time and you never told us. But the one thing that I had going for me is I had documented everything. I love to take pictures.
Okay, but how did you take that? I mean, what I gotta say this, wasn't that a stressful situation? And
It was very stressful.
how
It
did
was
you?
very stressful.
Okay, tell me, how did you go to work every day as a Chicago police officer and take that stress to work with you? I mean, it had to affect you. You can't tell me that you went to work every day with a gun around your waist and out on these Chicago streets, and you were in a stressful situation at home. You had to go to work and then you had to go out here on a beat on the Chicago streets. Girl, I mean, mentally, maybe
A
you're
lot of us, a lot of us are doing that every day. A lot of us are doing that every day, and go to work every day. I just detach myself. I I compartmentalized all my feelings. I knew I had to be this person at work. I knew I had to be this person at home. I knew I had to be this person in front of these people, and this is how I had to act in front of uh, uh, these relatives. So I was steadily always putting on different masks, on and off. And it was so emotionally draining. So emotionally draining. It was just like peeling an onion. It was just like peeling off them layers and whatnot. And it took me quite a few years in counseling to get to the point to understand and embrace that I was worthy. I was worthy. I was better than all of this, that I didn't deserve it. I didn't deserve to be treated like that, period. And I didn't understand why this person treated me like that, because I had been married 27 years before him, my son's father.
Mhm.
And we were on amicable terms. We were cool. Things happened and we were all right. And so when I got married the second time, I didn't even know I was married because it was post brain surgery. And my family was very upset with him because they were like, well, how can you marry her? She don't even know who she is. But the damage was already done. We were married.
So did you have the wait a minute? Did you have this brain tumor when you married this man? The second
I did
husband?
no, I was 4 months post brain surgery. I had the brain surgery March 2006, and the marriage was July. The marriage license said July 2006. We had talked about marriage. We had talked about marriage, and we had talked about marriage, and we were even talking about an official engagement and whatnot. But I knew I had certain criterias and certain expectations that I wanted to deal with and make sure before I got into another serious relationship. And he knew that. So that's where all the emotional abuse come in at.
Was he a cop too?
Hmm.
Ooh, y'all
Very
like,
well liked. Very well liked.
oh, but y'all like to keep this stuff in the family, huh? I said that. Then listen, I want
Yeah.
everybody to know that I really said that as a joke. I
No,
really.
it's true. I mean, but
Okay.
it was like with him, and I'm not saying anything behind his back if he sees this or whatever. With him, I wouldn't have never married him without having premarital counseling,
Okay.
because he had a lot of baggage. I knew about a lot of his behaviors and red flags. I knew.
Well, do you think that I mean, you had just got out of one frying pan and now you got a brain tumor. Do you think you were vulnerable?
I was very vulnerable.
Okay.
And he saw all of that. He saw all of that. He saw all of that from he used that to his advantage. He used that to his advantage and whatnot. So he looked at me as a meal ticket because
Well,
he used
honey,
to
you
steal.
were.
I,
Shoot. I mean, you
yeah,
were a
but
meal ticket.
look, It's all right because my attorney made sure I'd be all right afterwards. So I ain't
Okay.
even worried about that. I
Carry
ain't
on.
even worried about that. I ain't even worried about that.
Okay, let me be quiet. Let me be
Yeah,
quiet.
God
Go
take
ahead.
care of his children, honey. Just do right. Don't do wrong by people. Let God handle it. And that's
Okay,
what I did.
let me
So
be
it's,
quiet.
but you have to understand all of this was going on for like 13 years. 13 years. And it was just horrible. It was just horrible. It was horrible. And even now in my counseling sessions before my PTSD, uh, we're going through photos that I had. And when I look at some of them, I'll tell my counselor, I'll tell the doctor, I was like, where was I at? She said, well, you were here. Don't you see you were here? I was like, but I don't remember that. He said, well, you wouldn't have known that. You had a brain surgery. They cracked open your head. You have the band to prove it. And they pulled your skull back and they removed the tumor. And you had to take almost 5 years to recover from that surgery. And at the same time, you was going through a lot of trauma that we weren't even aware of. So you never healed, period. I hadn't healed inside. I hadn't healed. I hadn't healed. So we go on, and I get to the point. We're gonna fast forward, and I get to the point that I'm worthy. I need to prepare myself to get strong enough because I want a divorce. I'm gonna divorce you by hook or crook. I'm gonna do that. And he told me that that's not gonna happen. You can live upstairs and I can live downstairs, and that's gonna be the end of that. And I know that you're not gonna tell your family because I know how you are. You're a very powerful type of woman, and you don't want your family to know what's going on. And he didn't know that I had been already talking to my family, and so we had already got that together. So I was like, he can say whatever he want to say, but I knew what I had to do. And it was very stressful. I was having breast issues. I had never had those type of breast issues before. I was having cysts in my breast. I started developing lesions on my breast, and I had never had that before. And my breast specialist at Northwestern, Dr. Seema Khan, she had told me in 2008, she said, your blood pressure is extremely high and you're really, really stressed out. But I couldn't at the time filter what she was saying because I was 2 years post brain surgery. Okay. And I was in a very intensive rehab program at Northwestern. I went to vocational rehab. I went to occupational. I went to physical therapy. Very intensive. And to this day, I'm still a part of their neurobehavior program for my brain injury. And she had said, you're really stressed out. She said that sometimes stress will mimic certain things in your body. You can, have breakouts and rashes and this and that and the other. And I didn't understand what was going on. And it was because of stress. It was because of stress that I was having all these problems with my breast. And I didn't understand it. I just didn't understand. I was like, well, I'm not sexual. So, it's not that what's going on? I don't have any disease inside my body that they didn't catch because they got all these different tests I'm going on every month, blood workup, urinalysis, and scans and everything. And it was stress. Stress will kill you. Stress, shame, and lying will kill you. And as my son said, short of you telling me the truth is a lie. So just keep that.
Now I want to say this. You just made a statement. You said stress. What else? Lying.
And shame.
And shame will kill you.
Will kill you.
Okay, so you were trying to kill yourself. You
Literally.
were you were lying to your family. You were under stress, okay? And you were shamed. That's why you wouldn't tell your family anything. You was lying to yourself. So all of
Right.
the things that you just said, you were doing to yourself. So
To myself.
basically, you were trying to kill yourself.
Truly, truly, truly. Because at one point, I felt so empty because I was estranged from my sons. And I was very close to my sons. I've always been a family oriented woman, always. Anybody work with me at the Chicago Police Department would tell you that I was always about family. Everybody, taking care of anybody needs something or just family in general.
Hmm.
And it was just a bad time. It broke it. It didn't break my spirit. My spirit wasn't broken,
Uh-huh.
but I just felt so defeated that I had put myself in that situation when I was carrying the burden of somebody else's actions that had nothing to do with me. The former spouses, those were his actions. It had nothing to do with me, the way he treated me.
Wow. Well, do
It
you
had
think it
nothing to
was
do with
because
me.
of love?
No, it was never love to begin with.
Okay. I was just thinking, sometimes and this I know this to be true. And I had a conversation Saturday night, and this is how I know sometimes this is true. Sometimes when we love a person, because we forget to love ourselves first, and you can only love someone if you know how to love yourself. See, if you don't know
Exactly.
how to love yourself, you can't love anyone else. I don't care what anybody says, because if you don't love yourself, you don't even know what love feels like.
That's true.
Okay.
That's
So I'm asking you, because maybe you love that first husband, that's why you wouldn't communicate and say what was going on, because you loved him and you didn't want people to know.
well, my reasoning for not really talking to family and my first husband, and you hit the nail on the head because that was the only husband I had, that first one. Tyrone Leslie Robert Sr.
Okay, okay.
Okay, he was the man. And he, like I said, we cool. We all right.
Okay.
Um, I was more nervous about what they would do to him.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I was nervous about. I was nervous about my son getting in a situation of losing his job.
Okay.
And see, I got them kind of cousins. I already told you how my family roll. They get on the phone and they just calling everybody. They just coming.
Okay.
They just coming. They ain't asking no questions.
Mhm.
And I just didn't, I was having enough on my plate trying to get my head together, trying to get me together. And I said,
Okay.
I don't want to escalate a situation. And then I was dealing with a fool. Once I realized and got to know his personality, I was like, oh, so he a real fool. I didn't get messed up with a real fool that really don't care. That's real narcissistic, that think he's above any and everybody. And I was like, oh, okay. So now we had to re-strategize things. Now I got to deal with this man totally different.
I mean, I'm
But
just
that
thinking, I couldn't stay in the house. I'm living in a basement. He living in the basement, and I'm living upstairs in the house. Hell no, that ain't happening.
but
You get your
but
butt up
that only
here.
but
Mm-mm.
that only came about because of my brain injury. If I hadn't had a brain injury, that wouldn't have never happened. I wouldn't have
Okay.
never been with him. Period.
Mm-mm.
He just wasn't my guy. He wasn't even my type. Period.
Okay.
That I would allow to talk to me. Period.
Ooh,
He wasn't.
gonna live in the basement? Hell to the no. Hell to the no. No.
But so that happened, and as of today, I'm happily divorced 2 years. Thank you, Jesus, and I'm healthy and thriving. And yes, I am a breast cancer survivor. And we go forth, and I work with my medical team, who I'm so grateful to, that help me make sure that I get the people that I needed in my circle to make sure me going forth, anything I did was airtight. I didn't have to be scared. I wasn't scared of him. And this was the crazy thing about it. This was the crazy thing about it. I cared about his mother, and I cared what his mother felt about him. I didn't want his mother to see him being the no good person he was. That was more important to me sometimes, was his mother. And then when it came all down to it, his mother was in on it. So, it happens. It happens. Once his family found out I filed for divorce, I ain't heard from none of them people.
Though I get, you know what they say, what are they? Experiences and lessons, right?
Blessed lessons. And I love them.
Okay.
I love them. I love every last one of them. I love them because I was like, what? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. We look, we ain't going to that class again. We ain't got to go to that class.
I heard that.
We ain't got to go to that class again. So, we worked very tirelessly and got him out the picture. Again, I had a lot to lose. And my legal team and my medical team worked in tandem together. And I'm comfortable.
Well, that's important. That's
I'm
important.
comfortable.
That's important because you talk about, going through. I just want to show this picture. I'm gonna put this picture up. I'm gonna leave it up long, but I gotta show it. This is the brain surgery.
Yes.
Okay, let me get this comment out the way. This is the brain surgery. And the brain surgery was before the cancer, right?
Yes.
Okay. The
Yes.
brain surgery was before the cancer. So
Yeah.
you've been
13 years before.
13 years before. So
Mhm.
you've been through a lot. And to
Yes.
see you smiling and thriving and feeling good about yourself today, that is very important. Because
It is.
you
It
know, I,
is.
some women, should I say some women, some men can't take this type of stress.
I know.
And you can't say that it's not stressful because just thinking brain surgery, period, just to hear that is stressful.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is. But looking at it on the other hand, it kind of saved me, because
Okay.
the residual effects from my brain surgery
Mhm.
kind of numbed me, kind of really numbed me emotionally. And that's how I got through it.
Oh, really?
That's really how I got through it. I was numb to certain behaviors. So I would just like, well, long as, I'm comfortable, long as I'm all right, then okay, you go on over there, you do whatever you're going to do, but just don't bother me with that nonsense. But see, after a while, it did bother me because I had morals, I had values, I had a conscience. And I was dealing with somebody who didn't have morals, who didn't have values, who didn't have a conscience.
Mhm.
And that was the difference. That's when it opened up the door. And I was like, this is bull crap. I say it the other word, but I'm trying to keep it politically correct. Because I got a potty mouth.
Girl, listen, there are things that can make you be bilingual and you don't be speaking Spanish nor French.
Okay. Or Ebonics. or Ebonics. I'll be taking, I'll be going straight to the wood, Inglewood. But yeah, so again, it was blessed lessons. It was blessed lessons. We come for, and I had a little rock and roll with him with the divorce thing. And I couldn't understand that because I was like, dude, I don't have no kids by you. What, why you trying to skate on me? No,
get your suitcase. Let me shut up.
Look, and that's exactly what the judge told him. You have until so and so, so and so, so and so to get up and out of there. And I had to show you how generous I am. That time had came, and I was like, what you gonna do? You ain't packed nothing. You just, you ain't got your Afro Sheen in your mirror. What you gonna do, dude? In your bass guitars, what you gonna do, dude? And he was like, I need a little bit more time. Because I'm trying to get a place to that. Well, your mama got a place, your sister got a place, somebody got a floor you can lay your head on. You need to be getting up out of here. Well, can you give me 3 more days? Okay, I'm gonna give you 3 more days. I'm gonna give you 3 more days. I'm gonna give you 3 more days. I was like, oh, okay. But my like I said, my attorney, my legal team, they to this day they're still taking care of me very well, because this fool took me back to court this past March in the middle of COVID to try to sue me because he felt like that he signed over his rights to the equity in our marital home, and he was under duress, and he had somebody to listen to that story, and my attorney was like, come on, let's go back to court. I make $622 an hour. Let's go back to court. Come on. You want to mess with him? Come on.
He signed over the equity in you all's marital home, in a home that you already own. Mm-hmm. Oh, he was really smart, wasn't
he? He wanted to be. He was stupid. But, he gone about his business. I haven't seen him. Since August, physically seen him. I haven't seen him since August of 2019. 2000, and the sad thing is
wait a minute, 2019, and this is 2021.
Yes,
and he was assets from the marital home.
Right.
Girl, please. Now let's talk about breast cancer, cause whoo, that one is. I don't even have.
That's not telling you. It's a lot. But I thank God that I'm able to filter it and tell my own story.
That is one for the books. 20.
Right.
You haven't seen somebody since 2019. You are divorced and they want assets from the marital house, a home that's not even theirs.
Well, that's, whatever. That's what attorneys are for. Look, that's what attorneys are for. Go get you one. But because I still got the same one that I've had since 2017. So I know she got my back, so I'm not even worried about that. So we get to 2019. Things get real, just tense and heated, and the atmosphere get real thick. You know how you walk into a situation, you just don't want to be there. You be like, ugh, the energy is just off. And so I spent a lot of time away. I stayed in Wisconsin with my younger sister for a while, and I just made it a point to stay away because I didn't want to be interacting with that energy, period. Period. And at the same time, I was going for follow-up and diagnostic exams of my breast. And the strange thing about it is the breast that I was having problems with was my left breast. And they found the breast cancer in my right breast.
What?
August of 2019, I went for a mammogram. Mammogram came back clear. No problem at all. October came, and first of all, I got divorced Friday, October the 11th, 2019. And 1 hour later, Northwestern called and said, you need to be here as soon as possible. We have confirmed that you have triple negative breast cancer and it's metastasized. We need you here now. And the Wednesday, which would have been October the 9th, is when my sister and I went to Northwestern. And that day, we were there for almost 10 hours. And I had 15 biopsies and saw 2 different breast specialists. The Saturday before the 9th of October, follow me now, is when my sister, Cordia Wade Pugh, my primary caregiver, found an almond-shaped lump in my right side of my armpit. And what got her attention was I was changing a t-shirt. We were getting ready to go out and run some errands, and I was changing the t-shirt, and my nipple on my right breast was inverted. And my sister is also a breast cancer survivor. Okay. And breast cancer runs in our family. So we were predisposed to have it. And so she saw that the nipple was inverted, and she asked me, she said, "Does that hurt?" And I said, "No." She said, "How long has that been like that? Has it been leaking or anything, any fluids or anything coming out?" I said, "No." And so she was checking my armpits, and they in the right armpit was hot, but I didn't feel it. And she said, "How long has this been like this?" And I said, "I don't know. I just had the mammogram. Everything is all right." And that's when we went to the emergency room. And then from that day, they set me up for the biopsies, which was 4 days later, that Wednesday the 9th. And now we start the breast cancer journey. We started.
Is the picture of you in the chair and the lady standing next to you, is that your sister?
Which one? I don't know.
I have this picture. I believe this is
oh, that's right. Tisha. That's my other sister, Letitia. She's my other. Okay. She's my other. She was my primary companion when I went for my treatments and everything. That's when I was wheelchair bound.
Okay.
I was wheelchair bound because I was swollen from steroids and the chemo, and my feet and hands and everything was burnt, and I was just a mess. Yeah. And I got pictures to prove it. I can't believe it because I look at it somewhere and I'll be like,
I know you have pictures to prove it.
I'll be like, who is that? Who is that?
I've seen some of those pictures, and some of them I just can't. I can't.
I've worked hard to get to where I am this evening.
Yeah, that I had no idea that radiation burns like that.
Oh yes. Yes, burn you like black bacon. Didn't you see it look like black bacon, don't it? That's what it was.
I tell you, I looked at your feet and I just couldn't believe it.
I lived it. I could believe it. Look, I could believe it. I mean, every time once I started healing and getting better, I think my family used to really, they used to say, "Oh my God, here she go again." I said, "Look at my feet. They're healing. Look at my feet. They're not swollen anymore. Look at my hands. I can close my hands. You don't have to give me any juice. You don't have to cut up my food for me. You don't have to." I was so excited because that was the first time in my life that I had to be taken care of totally from head to toe. That I had to be bathed, fed, and everything from head to toe. And it was a very humbling experience. And I'm so grateful to my family. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Now you were saying it was warm under your arm, and you went hot under your arm.
It was hot. It was literally hot. I wasn't paying attention.
But it was the right breast instead of the left.
Right. It was the right breast that had the cancer in it. That was metastasized. And I was faithful about, doing my exams and everything. I was faithful about it and whatnot. And I never was one to, because of my history of breast cancer and whatnot, I was always particular about what I put in my body, lotions and whatever. I was really into aromatherapy and natural things. I wouldn't put no synthetic stuff and all of that. So I was very careful about that. So that's what was so confusing. But my sister is the one that found the lump. She's the one that found the lump. She did. She found the lump. And I just did not feel it. But it was almond shaped when she found it.
Mm-hmm.
And 20 days later, it grew to a walnut shape. It had grew that fast. And they had to send me through all these different diagnostic tests to see what type of protocol they were going to put me on, even if I qualified to be on chemo. And they had to take in consideration my previous challenges with my brain tumor. And I had fibromyalgia, and that's a pain disorder. And so they had to take all those things in consideration. And that's when things started getting stressful, not the breast cancer, because I was like, come on, let's do what we got to do. This fool went and took me off the insurance. And the last thing the judge told him the day of the divorce, do not discontinue her insurance until she go down to the city and let it be a smooth transition, because she has medical issues. Now, mind you, I had breast cancer and we didn't even know it the day of the divorce. We didn't know it. But 2 hours later, the judge knew it, because Northwestern faxed her over the results. And so now it's a problem. That's when I got concerned, because I was like, oh, wow, I got to have all these diagnostic tests. I got to have bone scans. I got to have blood workup. I got to have MRIs. I got to have CAT scans. And, this test costs $10,000. This test costs $5,000. This test costs, all these tests. And I was like, oh, what are we going to do? My sister said, don't worry about it. And then my oncologist, Dr. William Gradishaw, who's the chairman of the Breast Cancer Center at Northwestern. And it was really something, because he wasn't taking any new patients.
Oh, wow.
And he took me.
He
took me and he told my sister, he said, tell her, don't worry about it. We got her. She going to start this. We got to get her in here, because that cancer is growing. And we don't want it to metastasize and go up, because where she's really vulnerable is in her brain area, because of the previous surgeries and stuff that she had and whatnot. So that's what happened. We started it.
Can I ask you, why did it grow so rapidly? Is it because of, I don't know, sales or what? You were saying that, it was the size of a walnut almond, and it was just growing rapidly.
Right.
What made it grow so rapidly in you? Did they say?
That wasn't ever discussed with me. What was always important with the matter of fact, I'm looking at the diagram now to show the actual when they made the diagnosis of what grade of cancer it was and what stage it was at.
Right.
The most important thing they kept telling my family was, we just want her to stay as calm as possible. We don't want her to be stressed out, because, and this is the analogy that the PA gave, the physician assistant in the breast cancer center gave. She said, it's almost like putting vinegar on baking soda. She said the cells just explode with stress. And that could have been a contributing factor of why it grew so fast, because cancer cells split and they just multiply and multiply. They kill all the good cells.
Yeah, but I often hear doctors say, well, we see something there, but we wanna we wanna watch
Watch
it.
it.
We wanna observe it. And you know they can observe for a long time. And
That's
they'll say,
true.
"Oh, it's not doing anything," you know. But then sometimes you'll hear them say, "Oh no, it's growing rapidly." So I've always wondered what makes it grow like that. I guess I should spend some
Well,
time
you
trying
know
to
what?
find out.
I'm glad you posed that concern, because that's something that I can ask my medical team
Mm-hmm.
exactly. How did that apply to me, and then I can share that with you.
Yeah, try to find out
Yeah,
what makes those cells. Let me get this hair part of my face. What makes those
yeah,
cells grow fast like that?
right.
Yeah.
But that was the analogy that she used with my sister and my son. She had told him. She said her the cancer metastasized so fast. It was just like putting vinegar on baking soda. It just boom, and it was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And so we started my journey. Journey started with taking all the tests to make sure that I was a good candidate, which I was. And then I had to start doing the surgical part, which was the first part was a portacat. And I think I shared that with you, what a
Yeah,
portacat was.
yeah. The
And
porticat is where you was telling me. I think. Let me see if I save that picture. Where they
mhm,
go and they put that in
yeah,
your arm. Let me see if I
no,
save
it's
that.
right here in your chest. It's right here. A
It's in your
portacat,
chest.
yeah,
I
a
don't.
portacat provides.
No, that's not it.
Now that was the radiation.
Okay.
That's
Is
what
it?
I was.
Is
That's
it?
what I was
Is
pushing
it?
like
Has it
that.
anything to do with these bags that are hanging on you?
No, that was the breast surgery. That was the mastectomy when they removed the breast.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can
Mhm.
go find this picture. Keep
The
talking. I'll
porta
see.
cat, yeah, the porta cat, it provides continuous access to the large vein in your body, so they can have access for, and it's attached to a catheter, so they
Okay,
can.
I think I got it. I got it. I was looking for a picture. You gave me this uh graph. Oh, I got it. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'll
right,
get it on the screen shortly.
right.
Yeah. Keep talking. Why not go get it? I think that
And so that's what the first thing you have to do is go get your porta cat in, and then after that, after the your team get together and see exactly what chemo they can put you on and the strength. And because I had a very sensitive system, they
mm-hmm.
had to start me off with very low doses, very low doses. And so that's how it started. It started with the porta and then I
Okay, but
started.
this is what I want to know because you had both breasts removed.
Yes,
You didn't have the BRCA gene, did you?
no, no. I didn't have the
I hope
BRCA
I'm,
gene,
I hope
but
I'm
the
saying
BRCA
that right.
gene runs in the family. My sister, my oldest sister, made her transition in 1994, and
Hmm.
she had the BRCA gene.
Okay. I was
She had
wondering.
the BRCA.
I interviewed a young lady a couple of years ago who had the breast. Who I listen. I have a sister who's 40 year survivor, uh, and a registered nurse. Okay, but didn't know about that BRCA gene until I met Sheila Robinson. I believe that's her name, and Sheila explained that to me. I really didn't know a lot about it, and she explained it to me. And what she explained to me was that she had that gene, and she had both of her breasts removed, and she had them both removed because she had that gene. And when I saw these pictures of you, and you had both breasts removed, I had wrote down that was one of the things that I was going to ask you. Uh, did you have the BRCA gene? Because I mean, I saw that you had both of them removed. Now I
Right.
have the picture of the porta cat. This is it right here.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now this is
Exactly.
so that they can give you chemo.
That's so they can give you chemo and they can take your blood and give you other substance that you needed. Like I needed potassium because my potassium was like nothing. It was zilch.
Okay.
And they had to give me potassium through that. So it's, and the reason why uh, they chose the Porticat, and I still have my Porticat in because I'm still in treatment, is because I had very fine veins, and
Okay.
my veins were compromised so bad that they couldn't get a needle. And then once they got the needle or the catheter in there, and then chemo is poison. It's like acid. It burns you. Oh yes, chemo
Ooh,
is poison. It's poison. That's why they call it the red devil.
the
So that stuff's
red
still
devil.
yes, yes, yes.
So now when you get this in, this stays in, and when you go
Yeah.
back, they just go back to the same porta cat, and is
Now, how
this
you see where the port appears as a bump beneath the skin?
okay? Is this right here?
See, I'm gonna show you mine.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me move the picture. Okay, right there. Okay, okay.
See,
All right. Okay, so this is where they
and
go
you see
in.
that, and you see that scar that's up under it.
Yes, yes.
A month after they put the porta cat in,
Okay,
I developed a real bad infection,
okay.
and they were going to take the porta cat out, and they wanted to put in what they call a PIC line. And a PIC line is a catheter that they put in your arm, another surgical procedure that they put in your arm. And you literally have to live with a brace on your arm because it's, I have to send you some pictures so you'll see what the PIC line is.
Now,
However,
now do they ever take that porta cat out?
yes, some women get theirs taken out. I'm not going to get mine taken out because of my veins. My vein, I have to have every 3 months I have to go for port maintenance. They maintain the porta cat, they flush it, they keep it clean and whatnot. And I have to have diagnostic tests.
Okay.
And so it would behoove me to keep it in because I have to have so many different tests. And my veins can't take the intrusion of a needle all the time.
Okay, Tracy say, if it's a generic test, how can one be positive and one negative? Did you ever ask the question?
Yes. And
Okay.
it was only because my body reacted totally differently
Oh,
from the left and the right.
okay.
That's why. That's why. Because it was so strange because the left side is what we were having all the issues with the breast, and the right side is where the cancer was.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
And people need to know that everybody's situation is uniquely different. Nobody is the same. You can't, that's that's why people have to be very careful when they listen to other people share their stories, because that may not necessarily be your walk.
Mm-hmm.
It may be similarities there,
Mm-hmm.
but that might not necessarily be your walk. I had the infection, COVID hit. That's when I thought I was going to lose my mind because I live by myself. And now that I had my family around me so closely, now I didn't have them. Now I had to go to the treatments by myself. And they assigned a nurse to me because I was wheelchair bound. And it was a crazy time. I'm gonna share this story right quick because my sister always tell it to people that I tell, don't tell our business, stop telling our business. The Saturday before the mayor put the stay-at-home order in place, that Friday and Saturday, I didn't let my son or my sister sleep. My sisters. One sister, she just unplugged her phone. She wouldn't take my calls, period. She just turned her phone off. But my older sister, Cordia, she said that I called her twice, every hour on the hour for 24 hours. And she said that I had insomnia so bad that I wouldn't go to sleep. And that I was just, I was like, well, what am I going to do? I'm here by myself and you all over there. And what am I going to do? And, and so she was telling me, I called her at 3 a.m. and I was crying and she didn't understand me. And she said, Mina, go to sleep. Please just go to sleep. You tired, baby. Go to sleep. Just go to sleep. And so I hung up from her and I called the 1-800-suicide line.
Oh, no.
And I told the lady, I said, I just want you to know, I'm not trying to kill myself. I just need somebody to talk to. My sister is tired. My son got to work. And my other sister hung up on me. And they not listening to me. And I just need somebody to listen to me. Mm-hmm. And it just happened that the woman, and to this day, she still stay in touch with us. And they laugh about it. And they use it as part of their training. Mm-hmm. That she got enough information from me. She got my son's information, telephone number, my sister's telephone number, and she plugged in with her supervisor to my sister. And she woke my sister up and she said, I have your sister on the line. And she, told her who she was and whatnot. Now from the call center, 1-800-suicide, blah, blah, blah. And she said, oh my God. She said, she didn't call y'all. She said, what did she say? She said, the first thing she told us, I ain't trying to kill myself. I ain't trying to kill myself. They took my guns. I don't know what my gun is, but I ain't trying to kill myself. I know all this is recorded, but I just got to, because see, I don't know what the man thinking about, but I got to be at home by myself. And this is like bullshit. And I, so my sister laughed. And I said, how am I going to do this? I got to go to chemo Monday by myself. The first time I have to go by myself, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this and whatnot? And I have to say this, before COVID even hit, Tracy Shavers, my angel, was the second person. My life coach, Erica Walton, also were the only two people outside of my family that came forth and offered to come to my treatments with me. And my family were in tears. They were like, if your family need us to come, we'll come and we'll help out, and they need to get rest and whatnot. But I want my sister and my son out that weekend. And my son was working like 16 hours. That's when they were like working double shifts and they had no days off.
But you know what? I'm listening to you talk. At least, I'm going to say this. Some people, when they get cancer, or I'm going to just say when they get an illness, period, we as a people of color, we don't talk about it.
Right, exactly.
It's a secret.
And that's something we have to stop. I've learned that.
If something happened to me, I want you to know.
Exactly.
So if you come over here and find me in the flow, I told you something. But we have a habit of keeping stuff a secret. And see, you had support systems. Some people ain't got no support system because you don't talk about it.
Exactly.
You only keep it a secret.
But it's support out there. Just like the women at the 1-800-suicide line. That woman was on the line with us for 2 hours. Matter of fact, she mailed us the recording. And it was so funny because she was telling my son, she said, she's just like a comedian. She's so funny. She said, because she kept telling us, look, I ain't trying to kill myself. I don't want no stuff out of y'all because I ain't trying to kill myself. I just want to get my head together because I got to go down here and my feet hurt And and see, y'all don't understand. And I was like, oh my God. And my son was like, she is so animated. She is so animated. She like that all the time. She said most of the time she's not sad. And I am. I smile. I
Well,
smile through.
I want to show some of these pictures. You have, listen, my saying in the morning when I wake up to myself, I lay there. That's only if my eyes pop open. Eyes got to pop open first so I know I'm woke. But when my eyes pop open, I say, I just pray that I'm in my sound mind.
Thank you.
That's once my eyes pop open. And
Thank
then
you.
the next thing is I pray that I can put my feet on the floor and that I can walk. And if I can do those things when I wake up, when my eyes pop open, I already thank God because I know I'm alive, okay? And then when I know my mind is sound, I just say, now let me put my feet on the floor and let me walk. That's
Yes.
I do this in the morning, every morning when I wake up. Because everybody don't wake up with the sound mind. And everybody don't put their feet on the floor and walk. Some of them don't go
Well, I know for almost 6 months when I couldn't because
okay.
my feet were burnt.
So this is
Burnt.
what I'm saying this to say this. I want to show some of these pictures because you have a sound mind. You woke up this morning and your eyes was open.
Yes.
And I know you put your feet on your floor because I didn't saw you walk today. Okay? I've already seen that. So I want to show some of these pictures because I want people to know why this is what it is. So I want to show this picture right here. I'm going to show you this first picture of you. And this is a picture of you. You're laying, look like these are your feet.
Yeah.
Now, this is after radiation, how your feet are burnt up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You can see the burn up the side right above my heel and my leg. See how burnt I
Okay.
am?
And that's
Yeah.
from radiation.
Right.
Okay.
And that
Now,
that was part 3 of the healing journey because it was the port came first,
okay.
chemo,
I'm going to show
then
you a minute. I
the
want to,
surgery,
wait a minute before.
radiation, and then chemo again.
I just want to show them these pictures. This is
Okay.
why people have to keep a sound mind because some people, if this happened to you, your mind ain't gonna be sound.
You
You-
don't because you don't be thinking. You're in so much pain. You're in excruciating pain.
Okay, here is another picture. Is this radiation?
That's radiation.
And
That
this
is
is
radiation.
after both breasts have been removed.
Yes.
Okay,
See how raw it is? It's raw and it's, oh God, it was
and it's
so,
burnt, and the body is burnt.
yes.
And you know what? A lot of say if you get up and take a shower, if your
Oh,
man ain't sound and you one of them people, I mean, some people, they brains don't work right. They be in there trying to wash that off with bleach and everything else.
oh Lord. And
But
they hurt themselves. My sister
right,
and them had to sponge bathe. They had to sponge bathe. They had to literally do this. They had to sponge bathe me. My skin was hurting so bad that
because
I
radiation burns the skin, doesn't it?
the chemo,
Oh, the
I would
chemo
grimace.
burns the
I would
skin.
be like, they could tell just as good when I was in like severe pain because I would grimace. I would like, and they're like, Mina, it hurt. I said, yeah.
Okay.
Would you want me
Listen,
to stop?
let
No.
me let me see if this lady do you have a question, ma'am? I think so. I got a call. Do you have a question, ma'am?
I was just listening, trying to hear what she was talking about when she said it burned her skin. So she said that the chemo burned her skin or the radiation?
She said the chemo. Did you say the chemo burnt your skin?
Yeah, the chemo burn. And matter of fact, I didn't send you this picture, but I don't know if you can see this. Can you see that?
No, I can't. But tell us about the picture.
Okay.
Anyway, excuse me.
When the port, when the infection set up,
Uh-huh.
and they were going to remove the port,
Mm-hmm.
and they were um, they were pulling the catheter out from the chemo treatment, and
Okay.
some of it got into the raw area and
Oh,
it burned.
okay.
Hmm.
Now I got some pictures with these bags on you. Now, what is this?
Those are drainage. Those are drainage bags from the. Those are drainage bags after the surgery, after the double mastectomy, when
Okay.
my breasts were removed.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's what these are. Is this
Yeah.
drainage? Oh, no, no, no. That's your sister. I got, where's that other one? I got another drainage. So all of this is just drainage.
Right.
All this is just drainage.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you're saying that the chemo burned you, and you say because you got an infection.
Right. The area was affected.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So
And the
do you?
radiation really burned. Radiation really
She,
burned.
she said the chemo burned her because she got an infection.
Oh, okay.
Okay. She said, but the
I,
radiation really burns you.
okay.
All right.
All right, I got it.
Okay. Anything else you'd
Thank
like to
you very
ask?
much. No, I was just interested in trying to hear more about the chemo and the burning.
Okay. All right. She said
I'm
because she
interested.
had that infection, that's why she got the burn.
Okay.
All
All right.
right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Thank
calling.
you. Thank you for calling.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Oh, you
Bye.
Okay. She was wondering how you got that infection, honey, from the chemo. Okay. All right. So at your state of mind today, after going through all of this, after going through, should I say not one but two divorces, your state of mind, and I know you. Every time I talk to you, every time I see you, you always smiling. Tell me how that damaged crown, as they call it, how does it still shine? Why does it still shine?
Because it's a blessing to just breathe life in. And it's a blessing to have a peace of mind and a contentment in my heart.
Okay, we
That's
got
what,
we got
that's what I'm blessed with.
15 more minutes. I
That's
want
what
you
I'm
to.
blessed with.
I want. Okay,
I'm
you said
blessed to be contented. I'm blessed to be healthy and happy within my normalcy where I'm at. I'm blessed. And I'm blessed to be functioning in my own right mind and that I don't have to look left, right, front, or behind me to one of my siblings or my sons for validation, for their approval. I know that I'm strong enough to go forward and know that I have them there to hold me up and support me. So, yeah, yeah. I'm a happy camper. I
great
am.
feeling, huh?
Yes, it is. It. I love all of me, all me, myself, and I.
Okay, listen. We have about 15 minutes. I want you to show off the chemo blanket. I want you to show off the breast cancer awareness blanket.
Okay.
I know you have one somewhere around there.
I hope it. Do I need to put some more light on? Is it light enough?
It's light enough. I can see well. I believe everybody can see.
Okay. Let me see. This one. Do we have this? Can you see it?
Oh, that is beautiful. Now, what do those squares represent?
Okay. This one right
Okay.
here, the
Uh-huh.
flowers, those are the breast cancer ribbons, and the carnation representing breast cancer. And it's the insignia, and then there's faith, hope, and love, breast cancer awareness.
Okay.
And in the middle, you got the peace sign, and you have a leopard heart, all you cool women, and a polka dot ribbon for breast cancer awareness, and it's peace, love, and cure.
Okay.
That's what those stands for. And then we have our boxing gloves that we box.
Fight like a girl. But men better fight
Um,
too.
Look, no, fight. I don't know about no girl, but fight. And then we have, what is this one? This one is, oh, give cancer the boot.
Okay.
That's
Oh yeah,
that's a,
there's a boat there, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, give cancer the boot.
Okay.
And then we have, and you know this one, and this almost look like me, don't
Girl, it sure does. There it is. Fight like a girl. Yes. I may
it?
not be rich and famous, but what does it say?
It says, I may not be rich and famous, but I'm a breast cancer survivor.
All right.
And that's priceless. And that's priceless. And this is my favorite one. I won't quit, but I might cuss the whole time.
All right. All right.
And that's a silhouette of a woman
Mhm.
with the breast cancer ribbon. And everybody bear with me. I'm getting used to this camera. Miss Katie is my mentor now. She's teaching me how to maneuver this camera. And this one is never give up.
Oh,
That's the tree.
okay. Now,
It's by
now
me.
that is one beautiful. That is a beautiful blanket.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I would love to honor and gift your sister with a blanket if you would allow me.
Oh, I would, girl. Listen, I would love for my sister to have it too.
If you would allow me, I would love to
I
get
would,
together with you and
girl,
get the
please.
information. And
Oh,
what
please.
and
Oh,
this is the pillow that my life coach Erica Walton blessed me with for
beautiful,
when I
beautiful,
started my chemo, and then she made these pillows for me
beautiful.
for my arms when I was on chemo and radiation. I used to have to do like this
Okay, okay.
because
All
my
right.
skin used to stick. So I
Uh-huh.
used to have to do like that
Okay.
so it wouldn't stick. Because if you did like this,
Mm-hmm.
your skin would stick. And if you
Is
pulled it
that
up
during
in
the
the middle,
radiation? Is that during the
yeah,
radiation? Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And it was almost like when you pull up a scalp, the scalp would come up of it. And this is the blanket from Northwestern with, where is it at? Miss Mina Thrive.
Oh, yeah,
You know what?
2021.
Yeah, yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah. And
Beautiful.
I might, you know what? If you allow me, I'll
Mhm.
take a scan of them and send them to you, and then maybe
Do
you can
that.
share it.
Do that. Do
And
that.
then you can share it, but I can scan it. I think that
Do
would
that.
be good.
Please do that.
And this was so cute, right? That
That's a
they
nice blanket, girl.
that they put on here COVID. And they,
Pandemic 2020, COVID-19, Miss Mina, 2019. Girl, isn't
and then
that
they
nice?
put Northwestern. Let me see. Can you see it? It says Northwestern.
It's got your whole name written now, girl. That is so nice.
Yeah, it's
Now they made that at Northwestern University. I mean Northwestern Hospital.
um I don't think they made it. I would have to see exactly who made it, but my social worker gave me that as a gift.
That is gorgeous. That is
She
gorgeous.
came in one day, I was like shivering, and they when I was going through my treatment, and Tracy, she would send me messages and she was like, when they start doing acupuncture, because she saw me doing acupuncture and they had the cold mittens on your hands and your feet for neuropathy. That's from your nerve damages and stuff. And so one day my social worker came in and I woke up and I saw the blanket and I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is so nice. So when I got ready to leave, my nurse said, you're not taking your blanket with you? And I said, no, I can't take the blanket with me. That belongs to Northwestern. And she said, Mina, you didn't look at that blanket, did you? And I was, I was tired. I'd been there 5 hours. I was just tired. I was like, no. I was like, I wish I could take it, but I know I can't take it. It was so warm. And then she said, look at it again. And I looked at it and I was like, oh my goodness. I thought my son had given it to me and whatnot. And he said, I didn't give you no blanket. Yeah. So I have an awesome team. I do. I have an awesome team. And come to find out, I was asking my oncologist, Dr. William Gradishaw, I said, Dr. Gradishaw, I said, you and my sister, y'all talk quite a bit. And he said, yeah. He said, I enjoy talking to her. And he said, but I didn't know you all were black. I didn't know you were Jewish. You were black Jews. I said, we're not black Jews. Who told you we were black Jews? And he said, because your sister, when she meets me, she'll say, Misha, Dr. Gradishaw. And I said, Misha? I don't know what that means. I said, she know languages and stuff, and she do all that muckety muck stuff, but I don't. He said, and he laughed. He said, what you say, muckety muck? I said, yeah. He said, that's what caught my attention, that she knew all about different languages. I said, because she was a concierge she was a language concierge for the MacArthur Foundation. And if you ever look at PBS, the public broadcasting,
I know about that MacArthur Foundation giving
away
money.
And if you hear that voice, this is the Catherine T. That's my sister.
They are great philanthropists.
Yes, that's my sister's voice. Doing that. That's my sister's voice. Whenever you hear that, that's Cordia's voice. Okay. And she talks like that for real. And I always tease her, right? I always like when she left here this morning. And I always tease her. I said, "You're not Muslim, is you? Is you Muslim?" Because I always tease her. I said, "You Muslim? You Muslim? Ain't you Muslim?" She is so sweet, though. She is so sweet. She's just my rock. My whole family. They just wonderful. They're wonderful.
Yeah, it's just like you said. When you communicate with family, they're there.
Tell the truth, people. Tell the truth. Don't walk in shame. Don't walk in shame. Don't let nobody use that as a weapon against you, because they will. That's a mind control thing. Because they will. That's abuse.
Okay.
Anytime somebody keeps shame over you or try to throw something up in your face, they're trying to emotionally abuse you. Tell the truth. And don't let nobody isolate you. I don't care who it is. Don't let nobody isolate you. I don't care if you got to call 1-800-suicide line. And
I like that, though. You're right. But
you don't let nobody isolate you, because we all walk around. And I thank you so much for this platform. It's so powerful and it's so therapeutic for me. It really is. You truly have empowered me to be stronger. We walk around with shells. We all have shells. And everybody knows that in social media now, you can use all kinds of filters. So you can be as pretty as you want. You can be as strange as you want. You can be whatever you want to be. And on the inside, you can be just as ugly and just as toe up and just as wrong. Your heart is not right. And so people have to really start understanding. Get to know a person from the inside out. Get to know a person. Get to know their heart. That's why when I say to you, heart to heart, because I want our hearts. And if you hug somebody, it is heart to heart. Our hearts meet.
And you just made a statement that is so true. On social media, There are so many people with so many filters. And what you see is definitely not what you get.
Not what you're gonna get.
It is,
Not what
it is that is so true. You have to be we. I'm not gonna say you because it's we
yeah,
collectively. That's
right.
so listen, so careful. I'm one in the morning. I wish you could see my that inbox, boy, or messages. That's why I don't really mess around with that thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I give people my phone number. I said, call me. That
Mm-hmm.
messenger, let me tell you, messenger on Facebook and on Instagram is dangerous.
Very, very,
Dangerous.
very.
The thing when it says, hello, how are you? You better delete it right then and there. Some dangerous people because just what you just said, filters.
And they're very sick. It's just like my former spouse. When he
Mm,
told the judge, and this was so crazy to me because everything is recorded. He told the judge, well, she tried to be an actress. So she's just pretending. I don't think she has any health problems or anything like that. And
wow.
so when he went to court and they were on a Zoom
Yeah.
session, and his attorney told the judge, I wasn't aware of any pictures. I wasn't aware of any pictures. And the judge said, I have an album. Say, I have an album for Wilhelmina from the day she walked in Northwestern, from the first biopsy. I have her album.
Mm.
I have her album. I have her journey. He said, so if she's acting, I want my cut. I
I
want
know
my
that.
cut out of this.
Hey. If you acted on that and they cutting you up like that, girl,
Okay.
you ought
Okay.
to be on the Forbes. You ought to be on the Forbes list of black billionaires. I'm telling you.
Okay. Okay. But I thank you so much, Miss Katie.
I
You
thank
have you
you.
have truly been and continue to be a blessing. And I'm looking forward to us blessing more people, touching more lives, because a lot of people have crossed our path and really don't know who we are. Tracy Shavers, she knows personally my former spouse. And no one could have told anybody in that circle where we worked at
Mhm.
anything negative about him because of the way he postured and carried himself. And people were really attached to the outside. They never knew the person. They never knew the person. Now, some of them OGs knew. They saw through that. Them old girls, them old gangsters knew. They was
Mm.
like, that ain't, some foul there, some, I don't know what it is. You know how the OGs used to say, come here, baby girl, let me talk to you. Come here, baby girl, let me be in your ear. Come here, come here, come here.
And
You
then when they
watch
be
out for
trying
that.
and listen, and when they try to bend your ear, I don't want to hear.
Yeah, and
I don't
I'll
want to
be
hear.
like, keep your eye on that. Keep your eye on that.
Mhm.
And everything that was said to me was true to form.
But you know what? But
Everything.
we have to listen. We have to learn by our own mistakes.
Yeah. And
It's
then
just,
and I would hope
it's just a
going
true
forward that a
saying.
lot of people don't have to learn by
But
their mistakes.
listen, it's a true saying, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when a baby grows up, you can tell that baby don't touch that stove because it's hot. And doggone that
Mhm.
baby gotta touch the stove.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Don't
that's
walk,
curiosity.
don't walk in the snow because it's cold. Walk down the sidewalk, they're gonna go straight and run through the snow. It's just an action that has to be learned.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. Well,
So
we're trying to help
it's part of
people
our
to have an experience, a healthy experience,
yeah.
that you don't have to go through all that negative to learn the lesson.
Right.
It's not worth it. I'm
So
a
if
living
there's
legend.
something that you want to leave everybody with, I got something to tell them after you leave them with something that's gonna happen next month that they don't know about. We just got to set a concrete.
as we shared, I just want us to go forth and educate people and help people. That's what I'm about. And just be authentic and transparent with it,
Okay.
and let folks know that you don't have to have a half-ass or an ingenuous type of agenda. Just be true. Be true. And let's go forth and be healthy. We got enough working against us in this world. I don't even understand why we would be chaotic at this time. The whole world was at a standstill with COVID-19, not just Chicago, the whole world. So let's go forth and just, touch people with richness. That's what I'm about. And that's what I'm leaving you here with.
Okay, I want to tell everybody that next month we're going to do. I'm going to put the email address Rhythm RHYTHMSLOW Radio 5 p.m. at gmail.com. Make sure I got it in there right. So next month we will be back. I'm going to put it down here in the chat information. So this is the email address. Rhythm Flow Radio 5 p.m. at gmail.com. We're going to do an informative show next month in November. And we're going to do this show before Thanksgiving. And it will be Wilhelmina Wade, Miss Mina, and myself. And Tracy, if you'd like to join us, we still are extending you the invitation. It would be an informative show. And this show is, we're going to try to get up some information for the homeless. And it's going to be a show on where the homeless can go take showers, where they can probably get care packages. We're going to try to have a list of all the shelters in Chicago, the homeless shelters. We're going to get a list of those shelters where we could share those shelters. Also, we know that it's time that it's getting ready to get cold. So we're going to try to get a list of the warming centers that will be open when it gets extremely cold here in the city of Chicago. We're going to try to find out where they will be serving Thanksgiving dinner to the homeless. So if you have any of that information that you would like to share with us, you can send it to rhythmflowradio 5 p.m. at gmail.com, and we can use that information for the show next month. We haven't set a date, but if you follow us on Facebook at Rhythm Flow Radio Community, or you can follow me, Katie Lowe, Internet Radio host, we'll be announcing the show next month and let you know when you can watch it. And that will be me and retired police officer Wilhelmina Wade, aka Miss Mina. We'll be doing that show together. Yes. We will also probably be doing something around Christmas time too. So I
see my ribbon.
That is really nice. Check that out. All right. Go now. Did you get that from the I'm gonna say this. Watch this here. Did you get that from the Popo department?
Yes. My son gifted it to me. From the Popos. Yeah, the 5-0. 5-0.
Okay. Now, here's the email address up on the screen, rhythmflowradio 5 p.m. at gmail.com. So if you want to share anything with us, share it at that address. And we're going to say good night, everybody. Wilhelmina?
Much love. Much love.
I love you, my sister. Until next time.
Heart to heart.
Heart to heart.
Thank you. Take care. Bye, Tracy. Love you.